Well, hey everybody, I'm Chad with Bold Distribution, here with Brian Murray with Dynacam.
That's right.
Brian,
Dynacam.
what's going on?
Oh, doing good, man. Glad to be here.
Brian, we go back about 25 years in the business, and you've been a really instrumental part of Bold Distribution, and now you're out there doing your thing with Dynacam. And but today we're going to be talking about a really cool brand that we have here at Bold called VOCAS. Yeah. And this is an interesting, if we wanted to talk about every single product that they have, this would be a 6-hour video.
That's right.
But one thing that's really unique is that you literally, before we put all this on the table, I just introduced this brand to you. Like, you don't have any history, we didn't talk behind the scenes. No. I just said, hey, look at this. So this is really going to be a first impressions video.
I mean, I know about VOCAS, but I haven't engaged with them. I haven't used their products. You know, I've witnessed that they were out there. I know that you've been representing them for a while, but unfortunately, I missed it. I missed that moment, and now here I am getting introduced for kind of the first time.
Well, we're going to try to fix that.
Okay,
cool. But I do really want to know kind of like your first impressions, and I really also want to talk about, you know, why is it so helpful to be able to trick out your camera? Because if you buy a camera just out of the box, why shouldn't it just have everything ready to go?
We all have our pride, man.
Do you want to trick it out?
Gotta look good. Yeah. But more than that, like the FX6 is one of the most popular cameras on the market right now, and I looked at this and I said, you know, I'm not a regular daily FX6 user, though the series that I did, Full Swing, we used FX6s and FX9s. And, you know, there's things that you get it out of the box and you're like, okay, I got to put this camera to work. One of the things that's just beautiful, and I couldn't stop playing with this, is this monitor bracket. It's got a nice tight thing. It's fluid inside there. It doesn't flop around. And it matters, you know, when you talk about getting it out of the box, like I need to be able to make an adjustment and boom.
Let's just face it.
That's so nice.
Out of the box, they're just not that great. The viewfinders are kind of, I won't say an afterthought, but not as much effort put into the viewfinders as they can.
I'm a C300 Mark III guy. I think it's one of the best cameras made. I love it. Out of the box, their viewfinder holder is the weirdest contraption I've ever touched. It's bizarro. And then you go, okay, let's see what are these things, and let's start to make this camera my own. When you pick up my C300, you know, okay, that's Brian's C300. I'm sure somebody that would take this VOCAS kit and wrap their camera, like I use Komodos a lot. I'll talk about that. We use Komodos at Dynacam on our moto crane. We go, probably shouldn't say this on camera, but we go 100 miles an hour plus with our moto crane. I think it's rated at 90, but it does fine. Yeah. Nothing's breaking off. It's doing a good job. But my camera's got a big lens on it. We'll run like a Fuji 20 to 120 or 25 to 250. We have a shot over system that we use. Those are big lenses on a tiny camera body going fast and swinging hard. This thing has an additional bracket. So you go RF to PL, but then it has machined into the body of the system right there another support bracket. I've seen others that kind of like bolt on and come in there, but this thing is like part of the frame. And it's really light on its own. So like I want to put this on my Komodo tonight and use it tomorrow. And
let's just say, I mean, you can't tell on video, this is machined aluminum. This is not plastic, this is not a polymer, this is machined aluminum.
And it's not, the other thing, it's not heavy because it's machined aluminum. It's not just a big nugget of weight, because that matters to us. You know, I want it to be robust, I want it to be strong, but every ounce I add means a pound of counterbalance, and you know, it just swells. So if I add a frame like this, it has mounting points with little rosette connectors and
just tons of
it's
options.
It's a work of art. I mean, that's more than needed to be done, and that's just style. That looks good.
Yeah.
I like it. I would definitely put that on my camera like now.
And that's really their kind of their forte, to speak, because they take your camera and they give you so many options. I mean, from the base plates, which we've used a lot, even in the other side of our business, a lot of guys just want that softer, more configurable base plate.
VCT plate right there is. I've seen a ton of VCT plates, and there's I don't know if kludgy is a word. It might be a dangerous word to use. I don't know, but it's just they're heavy and cumbersome. They're not simplistic. This is simplified. I wouldn't call it simplistic. This is simplified to its core elements so that it's not a heavy nugget. It's like a light purpose
and even the engineering
thing.
Like just be able to slide back and forth.
Yes. And find that shoulder balance.
It's very good precision. And even the shoulder pad itself, you can adjust it back and forth just to really fit exactly where that balance is going to take place.
Yeah, and it matters. You asked early on if we, why customize your camera. It's cool. It looks good. But also, if you can hold that shot, and we're working with golfers on that Netflix series I did, and those golfers are doing their thing. They don't care if you're uncomfortable. You're shooting a documentary. You gotta be able to function all day, and if that thing's sitting on your shoulder nice and balanced, your back's not hurting.
That's right.
You're not in pain, you're not wiggling, you're not shaking. You've got a good balance, you're one with your camera, and you actually get better shots. And your talent's more relaxed. If your talent looks over and sees a camera operator squirming, that's gonna make him uncomfortable. But something like this actually makes your work better. Doesn't just make you look cool.
Absolutely, and from everything into, like I said, the base plates, the rods, they have custom rods, aluminum and carbon fiber, to several different versions of their matte boxes with French flags.
This is an area where I'd have known VOCAS for a while. I've known VOCAS matte boxes, and they've always been just rugged, sturdy. A brand that I used to use and still out there is Crozille, but VOCAS has just a little extra touch and another level of, sophistication, I would say. And I think I come back to, again, simplicity. A lot of the products that you bring at Bold are simplified quality. And this is just a really well-made matte box.
And I believe they're standard size frames with.
Look at these! I just found these doors.
Absolutely. Built into.
Yeah, and oh my gosh.
See, he's.
Yeah. Okay, I'm geeking
out. This is
a typical camera guy. I'm just like every other camera guy. I'm going to look at something until I break it, or then I find something that I really like.
Well, I was going to say this really is a first impressions video. I mean, you're seeing these for the first time. And again, it has the rotation, so if you have a polarizer in there, you can actually do that as well.
I'm a junkie for a Pola.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay.
But then you got other things that really kind of stand out to me, the wood and the leather. I just like those simplified touches, and that's your Viking handle there with the, it looks just awesome. I'm sorry.
Comfort is important, style is important, weight is important. This is very lightweight. It's not adding a bunch of weight to the front of my camera where my handles are supposed to make my job easier. And sometimes if I have cheap ones on there, it makes my front of my camera heavy on an already heavy lens. This is aluminum and leather. That leather feels good. And as Viking, I want to be tough. I want to have this thing. And this is really, really well engineered.
And the wood handle is one of my maybe it's just my size hand, but it just...
That's lovely.
Fits just perfect.
And this is the camera that I use a lot, the Komodo. I've tried a lot of different cameras, and there's cameras for everybody. Red is not somebody I've typically been a big fan of, but with the Komodo, they really nailed it. And it's a tiny little juicy piece of camera. It's got an amazing sensor in there that's a global shutter. It just is very functional for the stuff we do at Dynacam. And then to trick it out like this and to make it functional to be able to go, we film cars and airplanes. So you're a pilot, and this camera happens to have a global shutter, so you don't get that bending prop. You get a nice straight prop in a shot. And so I haven't used this camera because I haven't built it out to be handheld, but this configuration, especially with that handle, I just want to hold it.
But they support so many manufacturers, like your Canons. Like we need to get Dynacam set up with VOCAS on those Canons.
C300,
we need to talk after the video.
Not as popular as the FX6 and the FX9, but those of you C300 Mark III users out there, there's some stuff out there for it. So I like the VOCAS, and we'll stick together as C300 fans and try to get prettier pictures than the rest of the kids.
Absolutely. Well, this is just a tiny sample. I mean, we've got cages, we've got the rosette adapters, and also a lot of these different types of handles, which actually is real wood, by the way, real wood underneath that. So many different things that they make, and you need to check it out. Go to bolddistribution.us where you can take a look at VOCAS, and more importantly, you can find where you can pick up and shop for VOCAS here in the United States. But also when you're out there, check out Dynacam. Brian is done very well in the business. We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Has built an incredible business, and he's one of the best in the industry. So check out Dynacam. Where can they find you, Brian?
You can look us up at Instagram at Dynacam Team.
The Dynacam Team.
Or on our website at dynacamteam.com.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Check out VOCAS, bolddistribution.us, or you can mail us directly at mail@bolddistribution.us. Brian, thanks so much, man. Always great talking to you. Great having you here in the shop.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.